the Xhosa idiom
Yeah.
that says "Iqaqa aliziva kunuka,"
Yeah.
which the direct translation, as you were saying, the skunk cannot smell itself.
Saaiman Says,
Weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
with Chad Saaiman.
Only on Good Hope FM.
Hey guys, Chad Saaiman here, host of Saaiman Says on Good Hope FM. This month of September, we continue to hype your heritage with some incredible conversations with only the best artists South Africa has seen. Those that still continue to embrace us with their music, their performances, and more importantly, with their connection to their roots. Now, this artist is no different. She's a singer, songwriter, and I guess I'm sure she's heard it so many times. Dynamite coming in small packages. Please welcome to the show, Nomfusi. How are you?
I'm great. I am so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to. I'm so happy to speak to you. So I want to start the conversation with a quote from the great and late Brayu Masekela.
Yes.
Her voice is bigger than mine, but she's smaller than my trumpet. And the last time we invited her to a show of ours, she stole the show from us. You remember that show?
I remember the show.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was something else. He was amazing. Yeah, he was a gift. Definitely.
I can imagine. I can imagine you have so many of those moments, having performed all around Europe, all around the world, and I think carrying that flag of where you're from and where we are from, carrying it with you throughout the world. I'm sure you've had so many great moments meeting people who are just as happy to meet you.
Definitely. It's been an honor to be out there and just be a South African and just, showcase how colorful we are, how diverse we are, and how beautiful our music is. It has really been an honor for me.
I love that. Tell me about the music you listened to growing up. Because when we listen to your music now, it's a perfect combination of what some would call township music combined with soul, combined with the roots of R&B and Motown.
Definitely.
How do you think you got to that point?
It's the township. And I didn't just grow up in any township, but I recall that it was definitely probably, the squatter camps, the bottom of the food chain type of environment where, a shack is next to another shack and you can probably hear everything that is happening next door. So the music was also like that, they would be playing, literally there were rastas in front of my house that were playing reggae all the time. And just around the corner, there was a mama that loved gospel music. And at my house, it was traditional music. And weekends, it's Brenda Fassie all over. So it was just
amazing.
And next door, I remember there was a guy that loved country music. Actually made me fall in love with, who's this lady? Please, don't stop loving me. Who's that?
Man.
That lady. I forgot her name.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I forgot
Patsy,
her name.
Was it not Patsy Cline? Not Patsy Cline, Dolly Parton.
No, it was it's quite a known name, man. I just forgot it now. But she was the biggest country singer at that time. And this guy used to jam that all the time. So I grew up in a melting pot of different music. My uncle would come with his bands playing African jazz. It was just a melting pot of music. I grew up in a whole lot of, combination of music.
So housing environments in close proximity is not always viewed as a positive thing, but I think in your case, being so close to all the other homes and just taking in the music, you probably wouldn't have had it any other way.
Definitely. I always tell people that I didn't even realize that I was poor. That's how fun my childhood was.
Yeah.
I don't know, because we were all the same, we all were playing there with the mud, and for me it was we were okay. Of course, until you grow up and you realize, whoo, there's better things out there.
Absolutely. And I think, your journey is such an important part of who you are as an artist, and not only the great parts of your journey, but also I think the struggles and the trials and, some of the hardships. I think you managed to put that into your music in such a beautiful way that is not only relatable, but it's heartfelt. Tell me about the Red Stoep. I know that's the name of your album that just dropped in the Southern Hemisphere for now.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Red Stoep. Paint the picture for me.
The Red Stoep, man. I liked what you told me before we recorded the interview. Yeah. I think we can all relate. I think back where we come from, whether it's our granny's home or, your home, mother's house, there's a stoop, there's that place where we all chill, in Saturday afternoon, and everybody is just, telling stories and whatever is happening there, kids are playing and getting themselves dirty, whatever is happening. So, the Red Stoep for me was basically that, taking myself back to where I grew up from and just bringing all that beauty and, and bad stuff, I guess, that happened in my childhood. But it is just, the Red Stoep represents, me paving, the hardship, the hard work, you put in the stoop to clean it, to make it shine, so that when people come in, they feel welcomed and they feel the place looks, just neat and clean. Yeah. So that is just what I wanted to say about this album, that I have prepared for you. I have cleaned, I have polished this, I have shined this, and this is me. Come and listen, come inside and enjoy with me.
I love that, man. And you so, what I love about you, there are so many poetic moments you have. Even with one of the singles of the album, I know that you use the analogy of a skunk. A skunk cannot smell itself, right? And then you took that analogy and you wrote a song about how human beings can't see their own flaws or their bad side sometimes. Tell me more about that song.
Listen, for me, that it just happened that I write that song. I didn't even know that the people I work with would fall in love with the message behind the song. Yeah. But yes, I think it is the idiom, the Xhosa idiom that says "Iqaqa aliziva kunuka," which the direct translation, as you were saying, the skunk cannot smell itself, which is just basically a general being of everybody, that you just can't see your own faults. You can't recognize your own input in the mess that is happening or in the conflict that is happening. And for me, it was just one of those things that I just wanted to bring and make just the awareness that, what, we are all faulty, and a conflict gets resolved easier when each person can admit to their own faults. There can be a what do you call it, a resolution when at least you can admit that I do contribute, whether my ignorance, lack of knowledge, or whatever, but there is some measurement of contribution in this. It can't just, be a mess on its own. And I think we become even better people like that.
I totally agree. I think taking accountability for not like when you are wrong is important, and it's great to be able to put it into music. I think a bit earlier I mentioned that you carry the flag of South Africa. You carry the flag of a diversity of different sounds, and I think being able to travel to places around Europe, performing alongside acts like Lionel Richie. I know you opened for Lionel Richie, and a host of other acts. When you walk up on stage and at that point, I'm assuming the audience doesn't know exactly who you are.
Yeah.
And you introduce them to yourself. Do you find that they get to know you more with your stories and the music at the same time? Or is it only the music? Because obviously sometimes abroad they won't understand all the lyrics, right?
Definitely. I think what I've picked up in the 10 years or so traveling the world, I think people love the energy, and I try to bring a lot of that to also compensate for the lyrical part where, you know, people don't understand. So I bring a lot of energy in the music, but also, you know, just find that connection with my audience. So and yeah, I guess again, the fact that I'm so petite, and then the voice is quite, people are like, ooh, okay. what is happening there? So I'm just blessed, man, and I'm just grateful to God for that, just that gift, you know, on stage. Yeah, so I'm not sure what the audience feels out there, but I think that's how it goes.
I'm sure they're feeling good. I'm sure they are feeling good.
Yeah.
How do you, you know, I because it is Heritage Month, and that is the focus that we've had this entire month. We've had conversations with Vicky Sampson, conversations with Emo Adams, and a host of other artists. And I think the one thing I always ask is, how do you describe your heritage and where you're from in a simple way?
It's a very good question. Let me answer it like this. I first, you know, realized that I am first a mixture of different tribes. In varsity, I went to CPUT to study accountancy long ago. And I realized that my mom is from the Tswana tribe and my dad is from the Xhosa. And I would always feel, you know, in the middle when there's conflict at res, you know, people claiming that I'm Xhosa and the other people claiming I'm Zulu and the other.
I'm Zulu,
so I always feel that I'm in the middle because I couldn't really choose, because I love my mom and I love my dad and I love both cultures. And therefore, I think it made me not to box myself. It made me to really open myself to everything and all the cultures we have. And I got married to a Tsonga man.
Oh wow, that adds a third culture. Yeah.
Now, yeah. So we are Africans. I would love to define us like that. First and foremost, we are Africans, and I think the beauty about us is that our roots, you know, our family tree is not just one thing. You'll find out that there's a lot happening there if you can do a research. So I think if we can, if you want to say I'm this, I'm that, you are really misrepresenting yourself, because you are a lot in one. Your great parents might be from Kenya. You don't know, you know. So we are Africans, and we are born in Africa. And I think the most beautiful thing about us is Ubuntu. And if we push on that direction, I think we will win, man, and we will remain such a beautiful people. That's what I say.
I love that, Nomfusi. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for the music. Thank you. You know, we try our best to support and we want to share the different cultures that not only makes our city but our country such a great place to celebrate and live in. So it was very important that we had this conversation, and all the best for the promotion of the album, both in the Southern Hemisphere for now and the Northern Hemisphere in November. We'll make sure that we support the music as much as we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate so much. Thank you.
This is Good Hope FM. This is Good Hope FM. We play the best music.